My name is Srinath. So I'm recently graduated from ASU with the major of computer science. It's been a very, what do you say? Like it's been a roller coaster ride being in US. Like it's a very new atmosphere for everyone who's been living here in like 20 years and just went away from home, and we got to deal with a lot of stuff, right? So it's been very nice. And yeah, it's a CS major I graduated from. So I have a cybersecurity minor as well. So I'm graduating when it was like 2 months ago. It was a last minute plan that I had to go to United States for the undergrad because I've been very tentative about what I got to do in my BTech, like engineering. So where do I want to do that, or what major do I have to do that? I've been a MPC major in India while I was studying my +1, +2, and then I was confused. Even my family, they were confused too, because we are not aware of a lot of things about SAT and IELTS and people going for undergrad. And because when I was going for undergrad, it wasn't that popular in India that students can go and study their engineering or BTech in other countries. So at that moment, I got introduced to Venkat Sir. He was the one, like he clearly, like detailedly explained me about like what's going on out there. What are we missing as a students that we are just spending our time here? So he was the one who directed me that he had a personal chat with me. He got my interests, and he understood my mindset, and he felt like which one might be a better suit for me. So then he was like, I guess computer science is a good one, because I mean I was tentative in between business and CS, but then he was the one who motivated me that I could be a better fit in CS, and then he guided me through like all the SAT program, IELTS program. He was like my mentor. I've been known him for like past 4 years, and after me going to US, I've sent a couple of my friends out there because I believe he's the proper guidance that I've got. Because when my parents are like, so there is no situation in my life where my parents are confused about what they have to do with my life. But then when they were confused, he was the one who guided all of us through that, and then they were very much satisfied and they're proud about what I've did, and everything's going on. So he was the major role for everyone along me and my friends who has been working with Venkat sir from a long time. So yeah, it was good. Yes, I don't actually remember the name. It was my dad's friend who probably used to run a college back in that time. So while he was in talks with him, like he was confused, right? So he was just asking suggestions from all the people that he know. Maybe they might give better options for me. So when he was in talks with him, he was like, there is a coach, a mentor I know that he might be better fit for me to learn stuff and do better for the further studies and stuff. So that's when I got to know about Sir in like when 2020. Yeah, it was like 4 years ago. Oh yeah, that was. I mean, I always get inspired by few people, very few people, because I mean, someone like our AP CM Chandrababu, like these people, there are few people in my life. They just work like 24. We have 24 hours a day, but they work like 28 hours a day. I don't know how these people make such a lot of time. So he was one of my inspiration, because I mean I saw like, so personally, I know like more than 20-25 people who has been working with Venkat sir, and who are my intake in 2021. So just the people that I know are 20 people, but he's been working with like more than hundreds of people all across India. And I've suggested few of my friends who are in Doha, Qatar, and in some other countries, and he's been like I don't know how does he even remember these time zones and all, but he so as soon as I message him or whoever messages him, he's like he's always on the motive that I have to help him. He doesn't think about the other circumstances. I mean, even if I don't consult him by paying or something like that, but the main motive for him was to just help. So while I was doing my SATs, right? So I was very bad in math, obviously. I was very bad. And he was the math professional I know. He's been there. I mean, I wasn't able to solve like even a tiny problems because I'm, as I said, I'm a little bit weaker in math. But he took a lot of time for me apart from the sessions that he usually takes. He took his private time, and then I used to meet with him like a couple days in a week, and then I used to get some things sorted out. Even in this, when was this? It was in the COVID time. It was in the COVID time. He dared to meet people. It's not only me. I mean, it was like multiple persons who he used to meet, explain. Because online teaching, it was like pretty new to everyone in COVID time. So he didn't want to lose. He didn't want to make us go depressed in not doing SATs well. So he was like, he took a lot of time. He used to explain a single question like multiple times. No, and whatever, how many ever times we ask, he always has that smile and the patience with him. So he helped me with the math a lot, and then IELTS. Like he guided me to the correct, like a right professional who helps us better in a good way. So yeah, so that's how he helped me a lot. The SATs and math. I'm doing better in math because of the SATs that he helped me.
Okay.
Because the main difference that I saw after going to United was the math that those people are teaching is pretty much the basic math that we used to do here in like ninth standard, 10th. But still, the way their logic works is far more difficult than what these people taught us in like in the primaries and the secondary high school. But the stuff that I learned from him in the year that I was supposed to go to US was almost the learnings that I had from the past 10 years. So the experience that he pushed towards us was much better, and that's really so basically when I started in ASU, I took two math sessions in the same semester, like A session and B session. So I've been doing that from the first, like in the freshman year. So every time I have a session, B session. So that's the reason what do you say, successfully completed it in 3 years. I was supposed to be graduating next year, like next year, December or sometime. I graduated in May. The only reason is that I took like multiple math classes in A session, B sessions. I was able to do that. I'm surprised. As I said, I was very confused because I didn't even know that people go there for studying undergrad. I was in that state. So I didn't specifically have any university in my mind saying, this is my target, I gotta go there because I was null. I don't know anything about that by the moment before I met him. Right. And then after coming like applications and stuff, he guided me through the writing of the essays, which plays a major part in getting into a college. Right. People here might not know writing an essay of for getting into a college, right? But when we are dealing with applications and stuff, the essays are the major key role. The 50% plays probably your past education and maybe your GPAs and stuff, but the next 50% all alone considered is by your essay. So I wasn't sure like what do I have to write? Like I know I'm good in English, but I don't know what do I have to write in essays. I mean, what do I have to include, or is there a main theme for me to write an essay? Or I was very confused because I'm new to writing essays for a college, which doesn't have a question. I mean, if there is a question, then we can definitely answer it. There is no question. I just have to start writing an essay and send it to the college. It's far more difficult. So I was confused, and there were times when he didn't get any time in the day, and he spent in midnights with me, like explaining me like how does an essay has to be. An essay has to be something like your throughout journey from your childhood. How have you been and what have you learned? And why do you believe that if you go to such universities is going to help them having you? So this was the point of view that he gave me. And since then, I've wrote like 6 to 7 essays, and I got into every college. There is no disappointment in my applications and stuff. I've applied to like 6, 7 universities. It's because I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to just have a choice, only one option or two options. So I just wanted to try because I just want to see how capable I am, that how many universities are gonna intake. So that's when he helped me with the essays and all the application process. the only reason my application process went smooth is because of him, because I have no idea about how to do that. Even now, even now, if I want to apply for my master's, I have no idea how to do that. And I guess from the past, let alone like last year, my sophomore and my junior years, he was the one who helped me pay my tuition. I wasn't sure about how to pay that. I wasn't sure about how to pay that. I used to text him. I used to call him. He used to give me a voice notes. He used to explain me. It was. I feel for everyone, I feel there should be someone like him who can guide a student to become a brighter one in their in this age, especially because we are so confused, tentative, and we don't know how what to do with life. So there should be someone like a parent who can guide us in a good direction. So yeah, it went so smooth that I didn't know any trouble that I have to write down an essay or maybe do an application, send it to them, and wait for the response. I was what do you say? I was very cool-minded only because of him. Yeah, chill. Like, okay, he's there. He'll take care of it. It's okay. Yeah.
That is what
And it was never the same for me. He had like many mock interviews conducted for us because at that moment people were very scared because it was right after the COVID pandemic. It was right after the COVID pandemic. And most of the people, and it was actually, as I said earlier, it was pretty new. It was getting popular by that time that people can go for undergrad for abroad. So most of the people in India, they doesn't know that people can go and really study there for undergrad. They know people can go for masters, definitely, but they didn't know that they can go here. But so just because of that, we aren't sure about what are the exact documents that I have to show, or maybe exact proofs that I have to show to the visa officer. I was so confused because my dad, he knows about the visa stuff, but he just knows it about the tourist visas and all, right? He doesn't know about the education visas. He doesn't know about how much capital that I have to show them in order to feel like, okay, he's gonna come back after he graduate. So yeah, there are multiple documents that we weren't sure that we have to take them. But then when we had like multiple sittings with Sir, like Venkat Sir, and then discussions with him, like about how much capital that I have to show in my bank account, or maybe what are the documents that I have to show them, or maybe prove, and like CA account, chartered account documents and stuff. We didn't know because we didn't know CA documents. I didn't know what exactly a CA document plays a role. But until then, he was like CA, it's major one. So there are multiple factors, and I'm very happy that so there are a few people that I've known who got rejected like 2-3 times, and then after I guided him, I just told them to probably just maybe go meet him, and maybe he can direct in a good way, or maybe he can review the documents that you have took, and maybe he can tell you like what's missing and stuff. They've cleared it. They've cleared it. I'm proud to say it's not just what do you say? These people call dabba. It's not that. I'm genuinely proud to say, because those people who got rejected like once or twice, right now they are having a proper American dream in US, not in London. So whatever. It's good to see those people, and they are thankful for me, and I am thankful for him. Right. So, end of the day, it's just how people are getting succeeded by the things that we are doing, and he believes in it for that for sure. So, yeah, it went very smooth only because of the guidance that he gave us, because there was no proper, what do I say, mentor for these things back in like 3-4 years. There were consultancies definitely, but they weren't sure about how to deal with the undergrad visas or maybe undergrad situations, because all that they have dealt with was masters. They didn't know properly about undergrad, because undergrad, like, they definitely needs a lot of proof and stuff, because we are gonna be there in like 4 or 5 years in another country, right? So they gotta have a lot of proofing and stuff. So most of the people weren't sure about it, but he was very sure. He had these documents in mind. He was like, just get these, get this, and you're done. And the
yes.
mock interviews he conducted, he asked like very complex questions. He basically trained us for the worst, right? So he basically trained us for the worst. So even if it gets a little easier, it'll be much easier for us. So there were like multiple mock interviews, mock sessions that he conducted in online and even in person at those days, which helped me like improve the body language or maybe the way that I have to speak with an officer and maybe answer their questions. Because that was the first time that I was interacting with an American guy, with a white guy. I get very what do I say, nervous seeing those people, and I didn't know, like I didn't have this maybe the way that I'm talking right now. I didn't have back in that day. But when I had like multiple interviews with him, he helped me like what are the vocabularies that I got to use, what's the body language that you have to show them, and how promising your face has to look for them. So there are multiple factors. It's just not the application, but yeah, he helped me with all these. Like making me learn and understand how these works. And then when my friends are coming right now, I just keep those points in my mind and I just tell them. So it's like a huge chain process that's been going on from the past 4 years. That's good. I mean, the way he's willing to help is what do I say? It's unimaginable because right now the people, everyone's like very commercial minded. The probably when I was talking about the consultancies or people like him who are dealing with students, the major and only difference that I see in multiple people and him is the helping nature that he has in mind. He's not a commercial person that I've saw multiple consultancies people because I had few friends who had to go to Germany and stuff, so they had to go to consultancies, but they weren't sure, so I had to deal with them. So when I saw them, when I spoke to them, they were like, if you have to apply for these many universities, you have to pay this much. Or if you wanna have a easier process of application, like we'll do the application, but you have to pay a lot more. So whenever I just speak with them, the only thing that gets out of their mouth was that it's this much. It's gonna cost you this much. But you won't, you like no one definitely believes that. I've been with Venkat sir for like almost an year when I was learning this stuff and doing SATs. There was not even a single day that he did not even mention us about how much we have to pay, or he did not even mention like you have to pay this much to get these many applications. He was totally not money minded. I'm pretty sure because I have directed like three of my friends in the past 2 3 months because they're done with all the applications. They got their I-20s and everything, but they weren't sure about how to do the application or maybe how to speak with an interviewer or something like that. If you go to a consultancy and ask them that I have issues with dealing with this thing, they'll be like, okay, if you want to get prepared for an interview, it's going to cost you like 5,000. But he spoke with my friends like almost more than a week or 2 weeks, and he helped them like a lot. He helped them understand everything. He helped them know how to speak or what are the documents that they had to take and everything. He did not even expect a single penny. Those kind of people are very rare to find in this commercial Gen Z, and it's the main quality that I love in him. And then that's the only reason I just, whenever some people think that I'm planning to go to abroad, I was like, go WhatsApp contact. I call him and he was like, sir, he's coming. I was like, okay, Srinath, they'll take care of it. It
Yes.
was always keep in my mind was that so since knowing him from past 4 years, I might have been in call or maybe I might have met him like multiple number of times and like hundreds of calls and stuff. The one thing that definitely improved my English was just because him speaking in English to me. I've so you definitely won't believe there was only one time that I spoke to him in Telugu in my mother tongue. There was only one time while he when I came back for a vacation like 2 years ago. I met him and that was the first time he asked me how are you doing in my mother tongue. I was like, man, his Telugu sounds different. And definitely like improved a lot, and maybe it actually took the nervousness out of me because I was continuously speaking to him. So whatever the Zoom meetings that we used to have, or maybe if I had to meet him in person, he never used to speak with me in my mother tongue because he knows that people are free in talking in that language, but they have to get better in some other stuff. And when my parent, like when my dad or mom is beside me, he used to speak with them in their language. But when he's talking to me, he was like, okay, what else? I used to get nervous, but then I overcame that because I understood, okay, I had to deal with like multiple people and many language barriers. So yeah, it was one thing that I always tell, even my dad, I always tell him, I don't know why he doesn't speak to me in Telugu. I was like, why does he even speak in the English? Because I believe like when someone is looking up to me, I believe that I have to help them. So in any other way, I have to help them. So when someone is looking up to me and I can look up to someone and maybe send these people to there, it's like I'm building their trust with me. Because when everything believes upon what how we are guiding them, or maybe how we are making their lives much easier. So when someone is looking out for help, I just help them out of uh, like I don't think about the consequences or something. I just help them. So this was one major thing that I inherited from him after seeing him helping like multiple people. Like it's not only me who helped him, who he was the one who helped me. There were like hundreds and thousands of people that I know that he helped. So end of the day, it's going to what do I say? End of the day, it's going to help him in such a good way that we are all there for him to. He can count on us.
Yes,
He
yes.
can definitely count on us.